Welcome back to the second episode of Boxing Bets, brought to you by esbrboxing.com. This week, we're once again joined by ESBR writer Paul Kelly. Paul, how are you?
Hi, Sam. How's it going? All good?
Yeah, good, thank you. Once again, we're going to bring you some of the best odds from boxing this week. Obviously, we've got two cards this week. We've got the card in Belfast with headlined by Michael Conlan. And then Fight Camp comes back for its second week with Galahad Dickens 2. So, Paul, looking at those two cards, which are there any bets that really take your fancy this week?
I find it a bit more difficult this week. I have to admit to find what I believe is a live underdog. But I have picked one. I think Jazza Dickens is a really good price against Kid Galahad in the second Fight Camp show. I think the best price I've seen him at is about 5-2. So real value there, I think. Obviously, the two have fought before, and it was Galahad who got the win. But I don't think you can read too much into that first fight because it was a long, long time ago. It was years ago. And since then, Dickens has obviously won the golden contract. He's kind of come on leaps and bounds, I think, in the past 18 months to 2 years. So I think he's great value as the underdog. And obviously, we just saw Lee Wood there comprehensively outbeat Zhu Khan. And if you look at Jazza Dickens' resume, well, he has a win over Lee Wood. Okay, it was a split decision. Again, that was in the semi-final of the golden contract, but he beat him. He beat him fair and square. So, you know, if you're going off that form and you've watched Lee Wood at the weekend, you're thinking, well, if Jazza Dickens can beat Lee Wood and Lee Wood's just put that performance in, then there's no reason why I don't think he could beat Kid Galahad.
Yeah, and I think if we'd have come back before even the first week of Fight Camp and would have said, look at the three main events, who is the livest underdog, I think we'd have all said Jazza Dickens. So the fact Lee Wood's put in a performance like that last week shows how live this fight is. And I know personally, I was telling you earlier, I keep flipping back and forth from Galahad and Dickens. Someone will say to me why they think Galahad will win. I'll go, oh yeah, I agree with you. And then someone else I know I saw Tony Bellew this week talking up Dickens and how good he has been. And then I start to listen to that and I'm going, actually, yeah, Dickens really could win this. So I think it really is a 50-50 fight. And those, what was it, 10 to 2 odds?
5-2.
5-2 odds, you just can't. I think that really is probably the best in a card which lacks probably live underdogs. I think that is really where the money is. If I had to put you on the spot here and say method of stoppage, what would you be looking at?
I think he would win by points. I think he would win by decision. I couldn't see Dickens stopping Galahad. I really couldn't see any scenario of that happening unless there was a really bad cut or freak injury. But so if I was to back anything, it would be Dickens on points.
Yeah, and I know for me, looking at that card again, I don't want to say live underdog, but I think the second best option on that card would probably have to be Nick Webb, Fabio Wardley. I think we saw in Wardley's last fight, he can get caught. He got caught by Molina, and Webb has heavy hands. Webb can get you out of there. So I know he probably isn't. He's at that fringe British level where he could easily win a British title. He's not going to push much past domestic. But if he catches Wardley, I think it could be a tough night for Wardley. At the moment, you can only get Webb to win the fight at 4-1. But I think as we get closer, we could see method of victory coming in. I would put, if you were going to try and pick an underdog, I probably would pick Webb by stoppage. I can't see him outboxing Wardley. I think Wardley's too skilled for Webb to outbox him, but I do think Wardley gets caught, and if you get caught by one of Webb's punches, you don't know what's going to happen. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I echo what you say. I have to agree with you there. When I was looking down this card, I did think I couldn't actually find the odds on that one to start off with. So I was just like, I'd be interested to see those odds because I knew Webb would be the underdog, but I didn't know quite what price he would be. But then you're saying there 4-1, you can almost get him at. I think that's a really, really good price as the underdog because Nick Webb, I feel like boxing fans might have thought that was the end and that he was just going to crop up here and there in nothing fights really, especially after losing to Dave Allen and Kamil Sokolovsky and stuff. But then last time out, he knocked out Eric Pfeiffer in the second round, who was undefeated. That was a shock. He was probably a similar price then. than he is now. So I don't really see a reason why I can't do it again. And as you said, Wardley last time, although he beat Molina in what was kind of a strange fight, he did get caught and tagged a few times. So he's definitely there to be hit. And I think, yeah, at 4-1, that is a very good price.
Yeah, and obviously on Friday night we have Michael Conlan fighting TJ Deeney. How do you think Conlan will get on? Do you think there's any chance of an upset in that fight?
Yeah, I think there's every chance of an upset. I personally think Conlan will win. I really do like Michael Conlan. I think he's boxing wise excellent. There might be a question mark over power, but I feel like the way he boxes and his style, it's almost not as reliant on power. I do like the way he fights, but TJ Dehaney, he's been there, done that. He's been a world champion before, where Conlan's looking to get to. And although I do think that Conlan's rightly a favourite and quite a heavy favourite, don't rule out TJ Dehaney. It wouldn't be. There's been bigger shocks have happened. So although Conlan is rightfully the favourite, Dehaney's certainly a live underdog.
Yeah, and Deeney's a 4-1 underdog for that fight with Sky Bet. And I do think, as you say, his experience, you never know. I don't think Conlan's going to knock him out. I think Deeney will be there for the whole fight. So with his experience, could we see a big upset to start our weekend off? Who knows? But I definitely think probably is not as live an underdog as the other two we've spoken about, but there's definitely I wouldn't be totally shocked to wake up on Saturday morning and Conlan to have lost on the Friday night.
Yeah, I echo what you're saying. I agree.
Yeah, so I think that wraps up this week's boxing bets. Thank you, Paul, once again. Let us know in the comments below if you do take on any of our advice. Hopefully, we'll win. We'll actually pick some winners this week. I know we spoke about Leewood last week and Tommy McCarthy, and Tommy McCarthy was so close, but
very close.
Yeah, as I'm sure Paul's quite upset about. But yeah, so let us know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe as well. We're nearly at 5,000 subscribers on the channel, so it'd be great to hit that in the next week or so. Thank you for watching and see you guys later.